Hello, everybody.
Okay, the next case we have is Rosie Lozano versus Jakob Leva. Last four digits are 1634. Is Miss Lozano here?
Yes, good morning.
Okay, and Mr. Leva, is he here as well?
Yes.
He
Okay.
is.
On mute.
Just asked him to unmute here. There we go.
Okay, okay.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, let me get this case pulled up right quick. Put that right here. And okay. And Miss Lozano, you wanted to withdraw the dismissal?
If the defendant is willing to remove his countersuit, then I will request a dismissal. However, if he's not, then I would like to go through with the requested amount.
Okay, what do you want to do, Mr. Leva?
The only way I would accept that is if I get my dog back. Other than that, I will proceed.
I
Okay.
won't be doing that.
Okay, we'll go ahead and swear everybody in. Each of you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
I do.
Okay, and we will, I will note on the motion to dismiss that it is withdrawn.
Yes, thank you.
We'll withdraw that. Okay, I've been through the evidence that you submitted, Ms. Lozano, with regard to the medical records and things that you've paid for. The exhibits that you tendered in the case here. If you want to very briefly tell me why you are asking the court for what you're asking for the court, and you've got damages down for essentially $5,700. How you come up with that figure and why you're entitled to it?
Yes, so I have for the stovetop replacement that was damaged when me and the defendant shared an apartment. His brother broke that stovetop, and when he left, he never replaced the stovetop. So I paid out of pocket for that.
Okay.
As far as the washer and dryer goes, that was $1,593.58. When the defendant tried to come back into the residence after he was gone for a month, he had requested those, and at the time I was under pressure with him. I had called the police. He had a locksmith and his friends there, so I just said, okay, take the washer and dryer. But after further review, I had purchased those washers and dryers, and I'd put that in there as well with the receipts and it coming from my bank account. The $3,667 was from unpaid shared expenses that we had, which was the utilities, the Wi-Fi, the rent, and previous unpaid months on a credit card that we had shared. And then $143.02 to cover the court filing fees. And I had requested in the evidence $1,481 for my tires being slashed, all four of them, prior to me filing the suit.
Okay.
And then as far sorry.
First, we don't want to include the court costs because they're added on top.
Okay.
So we want to make the litigant who prevails is entitled to court costs, but we add them on top, so we don't want to include them in the damages you're requesting.
Understood.
And you talked about the circumstances why you believe the defendant was the one that slashed the tires, but there was never like a judicial finding of that or anything?
Essentially, no, but we shared an apartment with a shared garage, and there was we were the only two people on that lease. My truck was in the garage. It would make sense if my truck was outside of the garage, anybody could have access to my vehicle. However, they were slashed within the garage.
Okay. All right. Anything with regard to Nala?
Yes.
Mr. Leva says that your brother gave the dog to him.
Yes, but he conveniently forgets where he gave the dog to me. And ever since then, I have incurred the cost of taking care of her as far as training, as far as her medical records. They all say my name as far as the person who is taking her to these visits. And I have a charge associated with each receipt for her.
Okay.
So with all of that, I've had her as my emotional support animal from a psychotherapist, the vet visits, the training, the lease documents that I had when I resided in Fort Worth. They were with me with Nala when me and her lived together solely.
Okay. All right. So the total that you're requesting then is 7392 or 7393, really, right?
Yes, because we're excluding the court fees.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Mr. Leva, would you like to present your information?
Yes, Your Honor. So first of all, I would like her if she can actually prove all this money that she's asking for. Second of all, when I went to go get all my stuff from the apartment, the sheriffs were there. So they told me that I could only take whatever she said it was mine. And it's on body cam on the footage from the sheriffs, two of them. She's on body cam saying that I can go ahead and take the washer and dryer, right, that belong to me. So that's already gone. And she let me take a few other stuff. However, I left a whole bunch of stuff back there, like, you know, the Nintendo Switch, TVs, other stuff like that, right? Honestly, I'm not very I don't really want any of that. The only thing that I really want, and it hurts me a lot, is my dog. She took my dog away from me when I moved out. Obviously, you know, we were in a romantic relationship. It didn't end well. You know, we didn't have to be best friends, but we didn't have to end like this either. So that's why I was willing to go ahead and meet up with her at the dog park, and so she can see the dog. Just because when the dog was gifted to me, me and her started a relationship. So of course she you know she fell in love with the dog. I know the dog is in good hands. I'm not never gonna deny that. However, the dog is mine, right? But my dog, I live by myself. She would come visit. I worked all the time. I worked 13-hour shifts a day. So whenever I needed, for example, somebody to take her to the vet, she was always here. This happened during the coronavirus. So whenever she wasn't at Fort Worth at school, she would stay at my apartment here and there at her mom's. So whenever she would come, she would help me, you know, take the dog to the vet. I would give her money in cash. She, you know, she would do all the errands like that, which I truly appreciate it, you know, because if you know, I didn't have the time, you know, so she helped me out a lot that way. However, that doesn't give her the right to steal my dog. When I agree to meet up with her at the dog park, I had a bad feeling, but I felt bad because I love my dog, so I can only imagine how she felt, like, you know, seeing the dog after, you know, us being together for 3 years. So I was like, you know, I'll meet up with you so you can see my dog. But I asked her 3 times, and you can see it on the text messages. You're not gonna set me up. You're not gonna shoot me. None of that. She said no. When I got to the dog park, not even 10, 15 minutes later, she had sighted two guys. They're known game bangers here in Austin, Texas. They're her cousins, actually. I have proof of that as well. I can send it to you. They both came up. I was sitting down in the bench at the park. They walked up to us. Before they even got to us, I could feel the vibe. So I looked at her, and she immediately looked away, the opposite way. So when I looked to the left, it was two guys. They're known gang members here in Austin, Texas, prior records and everything. One of them had something. He had his hand in his pocket, and they were walking towards me in a train manner. So I knew what time it was. Immediately, I froze up. I knew if I got up or anything, I was either gonna get stabbed, shot, or beat up. One of the three. They meant business. So they walked up to us. They looked at her. She like gave them a nod, and they said, "Hey, cuz," because they're cousins. The main guy, the bigger guy, that's her cousin, like blood cousin, on her mom's side. And I can provide you with his name and everything. He has plenty of priors here. And, like, I'm scared. I was very, very scared the whole time. I was very scared after the fact. I live in fear because I don't know what else. If she was able to do that before, I don't know what else she's gonna do, Your Honor. Anyways, they got there. They stood up over me. They're way bigger than me. I'm like 160. That guy is like almost 300 pounds, all tatted up. gold chains, everything. He came with another guy. The main guy, her cousin, had his hand in his pocket. He was wearing basketball shorts, and he had something in his pocket. He never pulled it out. I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to find out what he had in his pocket. But he like stood over me. He looked at her, and he was like, "Are you good, cuz?" And she said yes. When she said yes, she stood up with my dog, and she walked behind him while they were just mean mugging me the whole time. And I thought I was gonna at least get beat up. I was looking at them. They didn't say anything to me. They were just clutching whatever they had in their pocket, waiting for me to react. I decided not to react because I knew what was gonna happen. So I just sat there. I let it happen. I sat there. She took off with my dog, and they took off as well. After that, I was on my way to see if my dog was at my apartment. On the way to the apartment, her mom's house is around the corner. So I just decided to stop by to see if the dog was there, her car was there. And as soon as I stopped by, the other car with the two guys stopped right behind me. So I left, I called the cops, and I waited for the cops to get there. The cops got there, and they said that there was nothing that we could do, and that we needed to do a civil court case in order for me to get my dog. I had also added an affidavit from Steven saying when he purchased the dog with money, he gave it to me, solely to me, nobody else. We do appreciate Rosie helping us out, taking the dog to the vet, helping us out, run a few errands here and there, right? But that doesn't give her the right or the ownership of my dog. I never released it. She doesn't have anything on paper saying that I released my dog to her. She just happened to be with me, when I received the dog. And obviously, after the fact, when I left the apartment, I left with my dog. She set me up at the dog park. I send you the screenshots right there. I also have a video from when the sheriffs went to the apartment, and I'm recording her, and I'm like, what did you think it was gonna happen? You set me up at the dog park. And she says, nobody had anything with them. It's just a he say, she say, or hearsay, something along those lines. But it's pretty much like she's acknowledging that it did happen, but that quote unquote nobody had anything in their pockets. They were threatening me. Like, you know what I mean? If I would have done anything, I probably wouldn't even be here telling you this. Just because based on his background and what I've known that he has done. They
Okay,
stay in and out of jail, so I know like one more, it wouldn't do anything to him.
okay. Anything else?
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
The dog, the dog belongs to me. I have all the proof, and then the washer and dryer. She said in front of the cops that belonged to me, and she let me take it in front of them. It's not like I took it against her will or anything like that. Now for whatever else she's the money that she's asking for, I would like her to go ahead and prove that, exact amounts. And if that is the case, then I'm willing to work with that. I have no problem. However, my dog, I'm not willing to lose my dog. I never released her to her. I was trying to be nice by her seeing my dog, and then she set me up at the dog park even after I told her not to. So obviously this was premeditated. She was planning it for a while. We were supposed to meet up at the dog park a few times. As you can see on the text messages, it didn't happen because of the rain. And honestly, I should have never met up with her at the dog park. I regret it.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Did you want to respond?
Yes. So I have been paying for this dog ever since she was born. All of her paperwork is in my name. If this dog is his, I don't know why after he took her, he is asking me in the text messages what kind of food she eats. She eats the same food all the time. I have never gone out of my way to purchase her a different kind of food. The fact that he doesn't even know that as a baseline shows that the dog is not his. I have continued to pay for her. All of the documents say that I'm the one taking her. I am not his maid. I'm not doing his errands. I'm doing what I have to do for the dog. I would understand if I had some proof that it was him that paid for every single visit. However, he doesn't have that. in what I sent for evidence, I have every visit matching every part of my receipts with my name on it. All the payments for every vet visit goes to my bank account and is charged with me for every single visit that we encountered. The allegations of him saying that I have cousin gangbangers, that he has no idea of who they are or their history. However, I did go with my cousin because I was unsure of how he would react. He does carry. I don't know what to do in this situation. I'm just having somebody watch my back, and that was it. Did anybody make any threats? Did anybody point something at him? No, we were at a public park. That's not something that I would do. I just had somebody there just in case things were to escalate. Walked away with the dog that I had already reported stolen on July 6th with Deputy Allison Harwell at the sheriff's office. So she was already reported stolen prior to me acquiring her back.
Was she chipped?
Yes, and it's under my name.
Okay.
Again, Your Honor,
Yes.
that was because I didn't have
Nope.
time to take it to the dog park.
Just a second. Let her finish, and then you'll have a chance. Anything else, Ms. Lozano?
After I had taken her back, that was when he decided to attempt to re-enter unlawfully into the apartment and attempt to regain her back. And that was when I called the police, and that was when the whole washer dryer situation occurred, in which I told him, sure, take it, because I had no idea that I was the one who originally purchased that, which I have documentation for as well.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm not willing to give back the dog that I have invested a ton of money into, as far as food, training, vet visits, documentation to have her in the apartment, all of which are in my name.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Leyva, did you want to respond?
Yeah, I just want to let her know that doesn't make her an owner of the dog. It's just like, for example, my younger brother got a new dog, and then my mom's the one helping him take it to the vet. That doesn't make my mom the owner of the dog. She's just helping him out. That's exactly what Rusty did in this case. And like I said, I appreciate it a lot. It just, I didn't have the time to take her, and that doesn't give her ownership of my dog.
Okay. Ms. Lozano, you get the last word because you're the plaintiff.
Your Honor, one last thing.
Yes.
One
Yes.
last thing. I also have a vehicle at her dad's house. It's a 1972 Mercedes-Benz, and I have the title here with me. How can I proceed about getting that back? Because I want no confrontations. I don't want to. I want to do it the right way.
I would love to help you with that, but I am not allowed to give legal advice. So it would be better if you contacted legal aid or took 30 minutes of an attorney's time if you've got the title.
Yeah, I have the title. I mean, legally,
Yeah.
I can just go pick it up, and if it doesn't let me pick it up, I can just report it stolen. I know where it is.
If you've got the title, that should be all you need, but I can't give you legal advice. I don't want to lead you astray or anything.
I get it. Thank you.
Yeah, I would love to, but I can't. I'm prohibited from giving legal advice.
Okay.
Anything else, Ms. Lozano?
Essentially the money is the last thing that I care about. It's ownership of the dog. I want full, complete ownership, acknowledgement of that with everything that I have done with her, as far as the vet visits, the health insurance, the pet insurance, the training, the lease documents, and all of her vet records acknowledging me as the owner. Only one time when his brother had the dog, that was the only vet visit in which there's a different name as the owner. Other than that, they all represent me and charges to my account. So that's truly the only thing. In regards to the vehicle, he is more than welcome to reach out to my dad. My dad has said he wants that vehicle off of his property. So if he wants to reach out to him in his free time and tell him, hey, I'm sending a tow truck to go get it, that's more than fine with me. I just don't want to be involved.
If there's any damage done to the vehicle,
If she gets the last word because she's the plaintiff on that. And okay, I just want to make sure everybody's had a chance to present all the evidence they want to on the case. Okay. Well, I want to thank you both for appearing today, presenting your evidence. I'm sorry that you're having to go through this. 3 years is a long time. But things change for people. So again, I appreciate you attending today. With regard to the monetary request, let me add this up right quick. Because the court costs are included in the invoice here. Just a second. With regard to the monetary request that the plaintiff is making, I will award $4,074 of the requested amount. With regard to the dog Nala, I find the evidence supports the plaintiff's claim that the dog is hers. The evidence presented in court today. So I'll award the recognition of ownership to Ms. Lozano. Each party does have 15 days to file a motion for new trial and 22 days to appeal. And we will get you a copy of the order by email. Again, thank you very much for appearing today. And I hope that y'all have a pleasant day.
Thank you, Judge.
Take care. Thank you.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.